Stay with the live pictures coming in from Patna, from outside Lalu Yadav's residence. There the march has begun. You're hearing the march has begun. Those are live pictures of leaders outside the residence of Lalu Yadav, and they've begun the march. And more and more leaders. Nitish Kumar is inside the residence of Lalu Yadav. He will be meeting Rabri Devi, meeting Tejasvi Yadav. With Tejasvi Yadav, all these MLAs have been locked up. Chirag Paswan is live on Republican cutting across live. Chirag Paswan is just about joining us. Chirag Paswan will be joining us live any time now. I'm staying with those pictures as well. Chirag Paswan is joining us live. Chirag, can you hear me? Good evening. Chirag, can you hear me? Chirag Paswan.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Chirag, good evening.
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you very well.
Yes. What do you make of whatever is happening here, Chirag?
Very good evening. Yes, I can.
Good evening. What's happening in Patna? They're calling it something like Paltu Ram. Most leaders, calling it Paltu Ram. What's happening?
Well, I mean, eventually Mukhyamantri ji did what he wanted to do. And it's not a matter of a day or two that he took this decision. For the longest time, he was working on a strategy like this. I mean, I held a press conference immediately after 2020 Bihar Vidhan Sabha election results. And that day itself, in 2020 only, I said that very soon Mukhyamantri Nitish Kumar ji will be changing alliance and he'll go back to Mahagathbandhan because his ambitions are much higher. He eventually wants himself to be projected as Prime Ministerial candidate for 2024 elections from the opposition side. And for these ambitions only, he has taken this decision. These all are the excuses when he says that I was getting humiliated or Chirag model did this to me and is the reason why I'm taking this stand. Eventually for his own individual ambitions, Vyaktigat Mahatwakanshaon ke liye, he has taken this decision, this step.
Now, Chirag, you're obviously very, very bitter with whatever's happened with you. Do you think this alliance is going to last? Because we're also already hearing that RJD is batting hard for the Home Department. Congress wants the Speaker's post. We're hearing RJD also wants the Speaker's post. Where do you see this fight headed?
My problem is that the important issues which needed to be discussed in terms of Bihar, in terms of Biharis, that is not getting discussed. All we are discussing that who's going to get what portfolio, or Mukhyamantri ji will continue with the NDA alliance or he'll go to Mahagathbandhan alliance. This is all that we've been talking for months on a stretch now. Whereas this is the time where we should be talking about the Berozgari issue, talking about Sukhad. My Pradesh is dealing, my Kisan bhais are dealing with the Sukhad ki samasya. Drought is there across my state. Rather than discussing and solving these issues, all we are discussing that who's going to get what portfolio and which party will get what all portfolios. This is not what we should be doing today. And this is my issue with my chief minister, that rather than behaving as a chief minister, he's just trying to fulfill his aims, his ambition and his dreams.
Now, where does that leave you, Chirag? Where does that leave you in this entire political scenario? Where do you stand? You've had a fallout with your uncle, etc. Where does that leave you?
Bhai, that is not the question for the day. I think that really doesn't matter that where I am or which side I am right now. I've been very clear for the past 1.5 years. I've been saying this categorically on record that I'm just working on my party. I started my party from the scratch all over because of whatever that had with my party and my family and everything. So I'm just focusing on my party. I'm focusing on my organizational setup and my policies of Bihar First, Bihari First. I am in no rush to be part of any alliance, and neither I'm looking forward to one.
You think this alliance will last, Chirag?
No, bhai, not at all. Very soon you'll see another fallout.
Another fallout. And what are the sticky issues according to you? If you can tell me, because you know them inside out, what are the sticky issues? Issues on which they may not agree or agree to disagree?
There's only one sticky issue, and that sticky issue boils down to the kursi of Mukhyamantri ji. That is the only issue. Mukhyamantri ji repeatedly he has taken decisions against his own ideology. He was a replacement for the Jungle Raj. This is what he said when he came to power. Eventually he formed government with same RJD. Then he said that मैं मिट्टी में मिल जाऊंगा, भाजपा के साथ नहीं जाऊंगा. Eventually he formed an alliance and he had a government with Bharatiya Janata Party. So everything eventually boils down to him being and continue being as the chief minister of my state. That is the only sticky issue.
8 flip-flops in about 20 years. Do you think, people and parties and leaders lose credibility when that happens?
Sorry, I can't hear you, bhai. Hello?
8 flip-flops. Political analysts are saying Nitish Kumar has changed his stance at least 8 times in 20, 25 years. You think, okay, I think we lost the line there. Okay, that's the breaking news update there. Chirag Paswan, you just heard him held a news conference. He says this is not going to last. Chirag Paswan tells Republic this is not going to last and that we are going to see another fallout.